Hello, and welcome to CLEA'S World. I am Cleanne Chiarico, and in today's video, I'd like to give you more of the information that I have received from the 25th dimension as a reminder, and you can go back and watch my previous videos about this to get more details around it. But as a reminder, I have done 2 QHHT hypnosis sessions, and I have connected with my highest self, which resides with the collective higher self of all of us in the 25th dimension. And this is where I've been getting information. So this is not technically channeled information because again, it comes from inside of me. And anyone who's had these hypnosis sessions knows that you're not channeling from the outside, but you are actually connecting to your own higher self. All right, so before we move forward, I'd like to ask you to please like this video, share it if you could, and absolutely please leave a comment. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, because this really helps me put out more videos and also spread this message, which I think can bring a lot of hope to a lot of people. And I don't know, I think it's awesome information that we're receiving, and I'm really excited about sharing it, and hopefully this resonates with you. But if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It means it's not meant for you, and it's all good. All right, so I'm gonna jump in here. As a reminder, when I say Carolyn, this is the name of my practitioner, the hypnotist, and she's asking me questions that I had prepared in advance of my session. And the main topic here is that she had just brought me down, let's say, from the induction, right after the induction, and she is now trying to figure out where I'm at. And normally I start my hypnosis sessions by going to the 14th dimension, which is where you're probably familiar with the concept of multidimensionality. And it's where I start connecting at the beginning of every session, for the simple reason that's where I spend a lot of my time strategizing on things. And again, you can go back and revisit some of the videos, and it will give you all the details you need to put this in perspective. But the reason I left this in, even though it looks like it relates to me specifically, is because this is a universal message. The information we're getting does have relevance for everyone, and especially if you are a light worker, which a lot of people who are attracted to my videos will be by default. You will see why I'm leaving this in. I have removed everything that was only relevant to myself. So everything else that seems to refer to me on the surface that I've left in these videos, I have left because there is a purpose. They do relate to lots of different people. All right, very good. Let's keep going. Carolyn, I want you to tell me the very first thing that you see, or the very first impression that you have as you come down back to the surface. Me. There are a bunch of people around, and they look like they're wearing dresses from the 1700s. I see women with these big dresses with the poofy gowns, and I'm one of them. But I feel like this is a game, like we're playing, like we're strategizing something, like we know what's going on, and we're deciding to do something. Carolyn, so you're strategizing? Me. Yeah. But I don't know if this is Earth or is in a different dimension. It feels like we're supposed to be on Earth, but we know that there is more. It's almost like we decided to meet here, but we actually know what the game is. And we know about the game, and we're actually strategizing something. Yes, Carolyn. And knowing that you know it's a game, does everyone else around you, besides this group that you're with, do they know it's a game as well? Me. No. That's why I feel like it's on Earth. So it's almost like it's like a court. These are very rich people. The clothing looks very rich with the wigs, the tall wigs. But it's almost like it's an awakened group, an awake group of people in the history of Earth. Like other people don't know necessarily. They're just in 3D, but we know. So we're actually having our meetings, our logistics meetings on Earth, because we found each other. There's a few of us here, Carolyn. So instead of knowing that this is a game, instead of strategizing off planet, you're able to strategize on planet? Me. Yeah, we physically meet each other. And I don't know how this happened, but it's a big court, and there's a ton of people that live there. We're inside of a palace, but there's like 4 or 5 of us and we're strategizing. I feel like we're the same people that I met last time in the 14th dimension. Still the 4 or 5 of us. And there were 4 last time. And yeah, I think that's 5 of us because I'm one of them. We're all dressed the same. There's 3 women and 2 men. Carolyn. So do you have the sense that you feel as every time you reincarnate into a game or come back into a game? Yes, I always know. You always know. This was Carolyn commenting. Me, yes. For some reason, I came here to, okay, so I came here to recalibrate things. So I bring in, it's almost like a piece of a machine. I bring in the spark, like, it's almost like a glitch. It's almost like we're outside of the game and we come in and we take the form of people in the game, but we are here to, we know how the game works. It's almost, we're working in the game, but from the outside. Carolyn. Is that why the human we know as Clea is why she has always felt that this is a game? Because she's always known it's a game? Me. Yeah, she sensed it. She didn't know for sure the way we know now, but she sensed that. She's always, that's her name for life. It's a game. And I want to tell you about this because Tony Robbins, and I read this particular book by him. I forget which particular book it was. I've read a few by him. And I read this several years ago. And he's one of the exercises he does to tell you what your attitude is going to be in life in general is it has you ask yourself what your one word for life is, your one word description for life. And depending on what that is, it sets you up for different things. So for example, there are people that might say life is hard, or life is sadness, or life is a dance, or whatever that might be. My word has always been life is a game. Since I was a child, this has always been a repetitive description that I've had for life. I've always believed this, and this kind of makes sense. I never even thought about it. So I'm bringing this up because I think it would be cool for yourself, if you haven't done this exercise, to think about what you think about life, just one word, and then think about that, to think what that word stands for you, what that actually means. We take a lot of things for granted, and I think this is a very useful exercise. Carolyn, so can you tell me who I'm speaking to at this moment? Me, all. You're speaking to all. Carolyn, can you tell us why you chose to show her this particular scene? Why we went here? Me. Because there are some of us who don't belong. We were sent to keep the game in balance, to check on the game. We are the ones who called it. We are the ones strategizing because we decided that this was no longer tenable. It was not what we had decided. We have always been watching. Carolyn, can you let her know that these essences are with her at this time that you're describing? Are they with her now in this current life? Me. They, in this life, no. They are here, but they're not here often. If they come, they don't come in the same spot. We're not meeting on Earth anymore. Carolyn, so that explains why when we were able to speak with you the last time, you were showing us that they actually meet in the 14th dimension? Me. The problem is that we've already decided that this is over. So we have work to do, other dimensions to prepare. Carolyn, can you tell us what that work is? Me. We are creating these plans where we're going to absorb the people who want to remain conscious, and we're going to bring them other places. Carolyn, can you clarify what absorbing means? Me. We're going to let them stay on other planets if they don't want to go back. And so we're preparing for the arrival of many people. And just to clarify, it means if they don't want to go back to the 25th dimension, where we are next to source and we are simply essence. So if we don't want to stay in the matrix, which is everything that we created from the 25th dimension, that's below the 25th dimension and includes all civilizations, all planets, everything, then we're going to go back. Basically, if we don't want to stay in the game within the matrix, we're going to go back to source. And there are many people who have made this choice at this time of transition. Carolyn, so we're preparing for the arrival of many people was the end of the response from the 25th. Carolyn, on other planets? Me, yes. Carolyn, will any of those planets be 3D? Me. There are some 3D planets, but we're not going to bring a lot of people there. Very few people, if any, will actually go to 3D planets. We have holding chambers for people who cannot be at our frequency level, where they will feel comfortable. But all of our planets are higher dimension. Carolyn. And so will those people who choose not to go back to source go to other planets to finish out their 3D existence? Me. They will be isolated. They will be put into these chambers and they will be happy. They will not realize it's a chamber. It will be an entire simulation created for them. And they will have people that they interact with, but they will be happy. They will live out their lives the way they want to. They will think they are on a better Earth planet. They will think they might be on Earth or another 3D, something similar that's not too shocking. And they will feel like there is an improvement. They will be happy, not like here. Carolyn. So will they be aware of that? Or will it just be as a continuation of life on Earth? Like, will they even notice what, I'm going to use the word hiccup or change. Will they notice that? Me. Some will because some want to transfer, some want to live through the trip, but most of them don't want to. Most of them want it to make sense. And I mean here from a 3D linear logical perspective. They want this transition to make sense as if they're still here. And in many ways, they'll believe they're still here. And there are all these improvements happening around them. They will have a logical explanation for why they're living this way. They're not going to know what happened. I do want to make a comment here. A lot of the information that is out there, or at least the information I've run into, is very different in the sense they tell us that new Earth, that everyone is awakening on this planet, and that whereas 25th dimension very clearly stated that there is no awakening, we're all already ascended masters, there's no ascension. But I think the awakening is part of the rules of the game. Within the game, we want to believe in this idea of awakening to justify the transition, and that's perfectly fine. As long as we're clear on the words we're using, in what way they are relevant, in what way they make sense. So let's use the word awakening, that's fine. So a lot of people out there, they want us to believe that we're all awakening as a collective and that we're all going to the same place, which is New Earth. And this New Earth, for example, there will be no money, or there will be a QFS system where we get, a universal income kind of thing. We don't have to work if we don't want to. We won't pay any taxes, that kind of thing. So depending on what everybody's vision of New Earth is, and that's perfectly fine. I was wondering how this fit with the information I've been getting. And I realized that a lot of these people, this is what they will experience, because it is not true that all of us are going to the same place. We have made, out of our free will, we have made different choices. In fact, there are 3 groups of people on Earth at this time. And so you may have heard about the bifurcation. There is no bifurcation, it's really a trifurcation. People are going to 3 different places, unless they want to go back to source, take themselves out of the game. So we're talking from within the game. People are going to 3 different places. And the 25th will give us, you'll see a lot of details about each group, where they're going, what they're going to be experiencing. But the point is that this particular group that doesn't want to know that this is a game, maybe they're less spiritual or whatever the reason might be, there is no value judgment. Everybody has chosen exactly what they want to experience. Okay, we're all ascended masters, we're all equal. So this particular group of people has to believe that whatever they experience next is linearly a consequence of what we're experiencing now. So they might just think, oh, because ABC happened, now we have XYZ consequence. So they can't just go to a place that's so different, like New Earth, where it's a completely new ball game. And so they have to have some continuity. And this is what they're referring to, that there will be, even though everybody's going to higher dimension, or the vast majority of humanity is going to higher dimensional planets, a big swath of humanity is going to live in containment chambers, which it doesn't sound great, but it's actually, they explain that people will be happy to do this. It will be a much better place than Earth. And they will basically live in a sort of 3D simulation that in some ways is similar to Earth, but it does feel a lot better to them. So where they might have, no taxes, you don't have to work so hard, you can focus on your hobbies, your passions, whatever it is. So it actually sounds wonderful in many ways. All right, but let's keep going. Carolyn, some of our loved ones will not come to New Earth with us. Will we be able to visit them in any way? Or will we be able to know at least where they've gone? Me. We will know, but they won't. If they're not ready, if they don't want to know, they will not know. They will not forget us. They will not know what happened to us. And some of them might not be able to handle their memories, and some of their memories might just be wiped. They might just believe that something wonderful happened and they moved to this beautiful place. And they might have to forget some of the things that have happened, the last bit of this old Earth's history. Carolyn, will those people go to other planets where they still don't believe in other planetary beings? Me. No, they're all going, everyone knows. So again, what they're saying is that everybody's going to higher dimensional planets, and higher dimensional planets, all higher dimensional planets are aware of other civilizations, other beings in the multiverse. So no, they're all going, everyone knows. But these people will be kept in these containing areas for their good, because they want the illusion to continue. They will be very happy. They might have more of us with them. They will believe they've restarted on a more beautiful place, and they will be able to continue playing the way they have been, but without so much darkness. They will not know. We will not want to take them out of their reverie. Carolyn, so do the other 3D planets, do they know anything about interplanetary beings as well? Me. There aren't that many 3D planets, and some of them know, but they want to be left alone. They want to be isolated. They want to live their illusion the way they want to. They're not interested in outsiders. Carolyn, are there any planets in 4D? Me. 4D is a state of consciousness. All right, I'm going to stop here with this video because I think it's getting a little long and it is a lot of information. Every time I read this, and I've read it like 20 times already, I discover new nuances, and it's quite a lot to wrap our minds around, especially in my particular case when I think about my loved ones who might not be going to New Earth. I already know where my loved ones are going, and they're not going to New Earth. That's not their choice. And so sometimes it makes me a little bit sad that they might not remember me, but again, I will know that they're okay. And I think that's all that matters. So I understand if some of this information, it's a little bit rattling in some ways. I know it has been for me. And that's why I do put it out in chunks, because I do think it can become quite overwhelming in some ways, but it is it's a very rich amount of information, and I am grateful to have it rather than not. So I hope this resonates with you and you do feel the same way and you find some value in this. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. And please, once again, kindly like and share this video. Let's spread this message. And also please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Take care and see you soon.